celebrating 55 years.
The time by Sagicor is
7 o'clock.
50.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, multiple fatal crashes in St. Anne since the weekend sparks concerns. PNP promises people-friendly programs, while JLP warns against disruption of much-touted projects. Transport Minister dismisses lack of certification claims about El Hydro. Inspired Jamaica or visually impaired inspiree author reminds true vision does not require eyes. And in sports, West Indies and Australia face off for day 2 at Sabina Park. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Sunday, July 13, 2025. I'm Carolyn Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. The St. Catherine North Police have listed several persons of interest in relation to serious crimes in Spanish Town. It's believed these individuals will be able to assist with ongoing investigations, and they are therefore being encouraged to make urgent contact with the police. They are Chris of Shelter Rock and Backlands, Sanjay Smith, otherwise called Short Man Bro, also of Shelter Rock, Prince Flemmings, otherwise called Avalanche of Jones Avenue, Malachi McLean, otherwise called Cripple of Lake Spen, Drayco of Lake Spen and Limetree, Zoom of Backlands, Bikey of Shelter Rock and Backlands, Denzel Hayes, otherwise called Tuff Man, Fabian Wright, otherwise called Ronnie, and Shaquille Batik. Anyone with information that can assist in locating these individuals is encouraged to contact the Spanish Town Police at 876-984-2305, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. 2 men lost their lives in traffic crashes in the same vicinity in St. Anne on Saturday evening within a 2-mile radius. We get more details from Kevin Black.
Even those individuals who drive hard to ensure that they drive with a sense of caution.
Despite the constant warnings, 2 men suffered fatal injuries in traffic crashes 2 miles of each other in St. Anne on Saturday night. They have since been identified as 28-year-old Angelo Chambers and 87-year-old Claudius Brown. The fatal crashes occurred along the Landovery stretch of the North Coast Highway, where Brown allegedly rode his bicycle in the pathway of a car, which resulted in his demise. Meanwhile, Chambers reportedly died at hospital after his motorcycle and a vehicle collided. Mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Michael Belnavis, is urging motorists to be cautious on the road in light of the upcoming party season.
Ocho in particular is the party capital of Jamaica. And with that comes a lot of people from all over the island, Kingston, Montego Bay, and so on, right here in St. Anne. And we have Reggae Sunfest next week. So it starts right there. Use the decorum, make good sense prevail, and drive with a sense of caution.
Mayor Belnavis highlights that the infrastructural improvements in St. Anne have resulted in a high volume of motorists on the roads. He says the number of motor vehicle incidents have risen as a result, an issue which he is seeking to rectify.
In most of the development they see going on in Jamaica right now, a big portion of it is right here in St. Anne. That are housing, that are development, commercial, residential, and so on. And any sort of movements that are not regular, they're going to be pulled over, and they're going to be, we're going to lock them up, essentially, because we don't want to have any sort of major accidents on the roads right here in St. Anne.
Belnavis emphasized that now more than ever, road users and motorists must obey the rules of the road.
Drinking and driving is a no-no. Get the designated drivers, ensure that, so you can drink all you want and there's somebody assigned to drive. That's the way forward.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Transport Minister Darrell Vaz has struck down as false and misleading a media report suggesting the company that imported the first batch of school buses for the government-led Rural School Initiative was not certified so to do. The minister has been coming under fire from the opposition and critics in recent weeks over aspects of the procurement. Here's more from Nika Lewis.
Transport Minister Darrell Vaz is rejecting what he calls a false, disingenuous and reckless suggestion in the media that El Hydro Limited was allowed to breach import policy during the rollout of the rural school bus system. In a statement Sunday, Minister Vaz reaffirmed that the Transport Ministry is the licensed importer of all 110 buses under the program. He clarified that El Hydro served as the supplier, acting as the sole approved agent in Jamaica and the Caribbean for the manufacturer. The trade board, he says, permitted El Hydro to facilitate importation on behalf of the ministry, but emphasized that school buses are specialized units, not intended for resale. Therefore, he notes El Hydro is not required to be registered as a used motor vehicle dealer. Vaz also addressed claims that the buses were uncertified. He asserts that all 110 units were certified in 2025 by U.S. Department of Transportation approved inspectors. Additionally, that JUTC engineers traveled to the U.S. for inspections, and that the Island Traffic Authority completed rigorous checks and issued certificates of fitness upon their arrival in Jamaica. The minister further criticized the headline, "Not Certified," as misleading while demanding responsible journalism. The minister has been facing harsh criticism by some opponents who felt they were not only unsafe, but that they will not meet the needs of the bulk of the students in rural spaces. Nika Lewis, CVM News.
Opposition leader Mark Golding continues to explain how the People's National Party, the PNP, through its initiatives, will serve the best interest of the people if the party is returned to power. Kevin Blake has highlights.
We're not talking about no dibby politician. We are talking about a legislator extraordinaire.
The People's National Party has sought to assure Jamaicans that they will serve the best interests of the people should they regain power in the upcoming elections. Speaking at a party parish meeting last night in Chapelton, Clarendon, PNP President Mark Golding says the PNP is focused on making life easier for Jamaicans.
You have heard some of the plans of the People's National Party to take Jamaica to a better place. You can assure yourselves that when we form government, it will be a government for the people. It's not going to be an easy road, because if you want good, your nose up and run. But we will be steadfast in our commitment to build a better Jamaica for you, for your communities, and for generations to come.
Golding maintains that Jamaica suffers from food insecurity, a condition marked by a lack of access to sufficient food. He says that the PNP is ready to empower farmers in the battle against food-related issues.
because we want to empower our farmers. So we're going to take some of the taxes that we already earn off of imported food and put it in a fund for our farmers so that they can get money through the PC Bank to invest in their farming business. Right now, over $1.4 billion a year is being spent to import food into the land. When the PNP last left government, the figure was about half that. Time come to empower our farmers. Time come to build production. Time come to build a strong economy with agriculture as one of the pillars.
Golding also illustrates that the PNP aims to repatriate Jamaica from the British monarch.
I'm not looking to try to be the minister of half of the agencies and departments of government like Andrew Holness, creating pure bottleneck and problem in the system. No. I intend to ensure that the system is working fairly and efficiently for the people of Jamaica. And we are committed to repatriating the sovereignty of Jamaica from the UK. We are committed to becoming a republic. We are committed to having our final court being the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, which Jamaica helped to design, put its money into finance, and which has been delivering justice to the countries of the Caribbean that have acceded to its jurisdiction so that our people can have access to justice.
Golding believes that the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, has lost the trust and confidence of the people, which he says will provide the edge needed for the PNP to secure victory. Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Meanwhile, there's grave concern over the implications of a change of government for the success of the Pedro Plains irrigation expansion project in St. Elizabeth. JLP representatives, while delivering their promises, are worried it could all come to naught if patterns of the past manifest. Here's more from Damien Phillips.
The JLP is still elated about the breaking of ground for what is being called the biggest irrigation scheme in the Caribbean. $26 billion slated to be spent to bring water to all southeast St. Elizabeth. But concern by the JLP over the success and life of the Pedro Plains irrigation project, especially with an impending election.
This thing of politics should be a sort of relay, where you do some work and maybe somebody else come in and do work. But what we have seen in our history is that the Labour Party do work. And anytime they come in, they not do no work. They drop the baton. We have to start over again.
So I am not here to quarrel with anybody or bring down anybody or disrespect anybody. What I am here to do is to say to you, the people of Flagabans, the people of St. Elizabeth, that the administration that you have now is the administration that has been turning your dreams and aspirations, your hopes and ambitions into reality.
But a passionate Green informed the gathering that a lot was riding on this project, and residents have been agonizing for decades with empty promises of solutions to a reliable irrigation system.
I'm hearing them talk about how limited. When we went to the Ministry of Agriculture and we said to them, we have been talking about bringing water from the Black River since 1970. Show me the plan. Show me the study. Show me what documents you have that we can use to start bringing the water. There was absolutely none. We had to do the feasibility study. We had to do the environmental impact. We had to do the demand study. We had to do the cadastral maps to reach to a place where we can say this year pipes will start being laid for the Pedro Plains irrigation scheme.
Green is pumping assurances out of the pipeline, telling residents they will have much more than water flowing their way.
If I do the project, we do it good. So if they never hear the people them who the pipe have a run through them land, who don't have title, they are going to get titles free of cost from this government, over 1,000 titles.
And for the Prime Minister, that's just another example of the government being able to deliver to the citizens.
What we lack is the ability to implement things, to get it done. And this government is the only government that can say we have the best record of getting things done. We have the best record of taking on the big problems, the big challenges. We have the unchallenged record of taking on what was considered to be the intractable problems. We have the record of getting it done.
Damon Phillips, CVM News.
And regarding 1,000 land titles to be issued to residents of St. Elizabeth free of cost as part of the government's Pedro Plains irrigation expansion project, Chief Executive Officer of the National Land Agency, Sharice Walcott, explains the importance of this document, especially to the farmers.
Land titling is an expensive venture, and the government over the last 20 years has tried over and over to assist in subsidizing the cost, but it's never free. So it was excellent for us in this project in having it free for them, so they were able to get their land titles to then use to generate further business for them.
The Member of Parliament for South West St. Elizabeth, Floyd Green, is assuring while roadworks are on in earnest in sections of the constituency, there will be no political bias. The MP was responding to complaints uttered by some residents during a tour of some communities last week, questioning why some roads were given attention and others were not.
No, stop doing the work. And we have some more work to do. So I can tell you, PIOJ Cross to Southfield, we're going to fix that. I can tell you, Renters, we're going to fix that. PIOJ Cross to Station, we're going to fix that. Newcomb Valley, we're going to fix that. We are here to do the work.
The MP told a gathering the party has made a concerted effort to be consistent with roadworks and other projects in the constituency. The Planning Institute of Jamaica, the PIOJ's Love Jamaica initiative, celebrated the contribution of the Jamaican people to national development. The initiative seeks to position the people at the center of the development discourse while encouraging patriotism and promoting civic pride in a society where certain achievements can sometimes be, or rather go, unrecognized. Here's more from Crystal Williams. We will come back to that story right after this. Do stay with us. No, we actually will continue. Do we go to a break? Yes, we will. We'll be right back.
How you stay on top of your mortgage?
You know, when I get a little...
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Let's move on to the body of a Westmoreland woman who died in 2023, which was found unlawfully preserved in a makeshift tomb inside her house, has not yet been laid to rest. Neither have discussions emerging since the incident. Christians have no doubt disassociated themselves from such a distortion of an aspect of their faith.
We've heard of Jesus raising Lazarus. We've heard of, other such resurrection, including the resurrection of Jesus himself. But the Christian religion doesn't speak about actual bodily resurrection at this time. I've never heard in all my years, nor in all my readings, of anybody who has been able to physically raise someone who has been declared dead.
The man of the cloth, who is also Custos of Westmoreland, mindful Christianity preaches resurrection of the dead in the face of decay and depreciation of a body, wonders how her belief could perceive such an act.
It serves to demonstrate how persons with warped impression of religion, especially the Christian religion, could ever countenance that within a period of time, a dead person will be raised miraculously.
And it's the ingenuity behind the thought that's also baffling, and how the victim spent her final moments. Although the father of the female behind bars says in her account the death was seemingly natural, other questions are genuine.
How she did it, we don't know. Whether she was the person who led to the death of this woman, the police will eventually find out. But it really allows for a gloom to be cast over the parish of Westmoreland, and especially in that community. It is sad, it is regrettable, it is reprehensive, and we grieve for those who mourn the loss of this woman at this time.
Now, while the police have taken over the matter and family members of both the victim and the accused have come forward, Custos Perrin says the community has no excuse.
How it is that a woman could be missing out of a community for over 2 years and nobody seemed to ask, what has happened to Mary Jane? Where is she? How it is that we're not seeing her? So that's one of the first questions that the community needs to ask. Where were they when all of these things were happening?
And we will now look at regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. In Haiti, reporters are being targeted with gunfire, death threats, and physical assaults while covering protests, hospital reopenings, and gang-related violence. More from Telesur.
And the situation of journalists in Haiti is becoming increasingly alarming. The most recent case is that of Roger Claudie Israel, a reporter who disappeared in the city of Mirevele in the center of the country while covering an attack by armed criminal groups. Roger Claudie Israel's disappearance reflects the high level of risk faced today by the media in Haiti, where being a journalist has become a high-risk profession. In the last year, several reporters have been kidnapped, shot, or forced into exile, and historic media outlets such as Radio Television Caribes have been attacked and burned. In the capital, 90% of the territory is under the control of criminal groups who not only threaten journalists in the streets, but also directly attack media headquarters in order to silence the situation in the country.
In St. Lucia, a cutting-edge hydroponics facility donated by the government of Guyana has officially launched, revolutionizing St. Lucia's approach to farming. Here's DBS TV News.
This facility, there is no soil involved. It's just water and nutrients causing the leafy vegetables you see there to grow. This facility can be established in anybody's backyard, in your veranda, in your garage, because it is simple and easy to manage, very cost effective.
And in international news, Nigeria's former president Muhammadu Buhari has died. He was 82. He was in power from 2015 to 2023. Details from the BBC.
Muhammadu Buhari was a military dictator turned Democrat. In 2015, he took the oath of office as a president elected by the people. And as the first presidential candidate to defeat a sitting leader, it was a remarkable moment in the country's history. It was in 1983 that he first ruled the country, taking power in a coup. As a young officer, he rapidly rose through the army ranks during a time when Nigeria was experiencing frequent regime changes. When he came to power, the economy was in turmoil and official corruption was rampant. He vowed to come down hard.
Fraud, indiscipline, corruption, squandermania.
His time in power is best remembered for campaigns against what he called squandermania, but also for human rights abuses. But the general who promised to clean up the system didn't last long. After 20 months, he was himself ousted in a coup. It was only...
I may be blind, says our inspiree Alana Johnson, but I see the world in ways most people never will, in her roughly 37-page book, Beyond the Eyes, Finding Light in the Dark. And she wants it known it's not just her story about disability. It's a story about resilience, hope, and learning to shine when everything around you feels dark. This is Inspire Jamaica.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can.
What's up? This is Christopher Martin, and I want to make sure I make this video congratulating these young authors. Listen, man, your accomplishments, all that you've done, all that you've been through to reach this stage is definitely a big deal. So I want to make special mention to Alania Johnson of Holy Childhood High School, and I hear that you're visually impaired, so you know that the odds were stacked against you and you deliver. Love you. Big deal business, that's it.
Just escort her slowly, and everybody, please put your hands together for our next author who's coming, sharing 2 to 3 minutes of her experience and her book.
Before I start, I want to say a very special thank you and shout out to my one and only mother.
I feel great about it because from a long time she said she wanted to write a book. So now it come to pass. And I'm very proud of her, but I wish her father was here to enjoy it too.
So yeah, Beyond the Eyes, Finding Light in the Dark is about me as a visually impaired person, finding light in the dark, facing different challenges in the world, like for example, being bullied, facing that and thriving, not letting that be, my downfall, having confidence and all of that good stuff. Stories about losing my dad.
On the chapter In Memory of My Dad, among the reflections from then 6-year-old Alana, she writes on October 4, 2014, before leaving out for work, my dad said, "My daughter, see you later, and remember, I love you." She returned the sentence